Peace and blessings to the chosen, Shalom, first and foremost, giving all praises, glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, salutations to the Akim pushing his truth with sincerity and charity, risking their lives and freedom to do so. I'm the brother Yalad, titling this epistle, Voting is Sinful, and I'll do the quick approach, then I'll break it down further. Who is the leader of the free world, so-called? Now granted, we understand that the elites are really in control of the world, but in the mentality of voting, believing that your vote has power to select who is the leader of the free world, which is the U.S. president, basically. Even with that mentality, you still have to understand that the world is given into the hand of the wicked, right? And I'm gonna read through these precepts, but I'm throwing in a brief first. All right, and you never go to your enemy for help, right? To go to these established buildings of the enemy, right? And these establishments of the enemy, because that's what's involved in voting. These people believe that the mayors that they vote for and the senators and representatives and governors that they vote for are gonna turn around and help the community, when mostly it's just a bunch of empty promises, you could say. And on top of trying to go to your enemy for help, right, which would, your enemy in this sense would be the politicians, you damn sure, excuse my American, damn sure don't go to out your way to give them power over you. You know what I'm saying? You don't go out your way to do that. You don't. Right? And I'm gonna, this is just a brief right now. I'm gonna break all of this down in a moment. And that following the crowd, doing it because everybody else is doing it, is borderline idolatry. And I say borderline because, monkey see, monkey do. If you really didn't know what you was doing was wicked, the Lord will wink at it. But for the most part, it's still idolatry. Now, there are some times when you do something and you just do it because other people are doing it, and it may not necessarily be evil, like the scripture says, following the multitude to do evil. So that case may be different. That's why I say borderline. Okay? Because there's probably plenty of instances that could occur, and it's not necessarily a wicked thing, following a multitude to do evil. Evil just really means to do bad things or harmful things, right? And, back then in the ancient world, we followed Joshua and to fight against the enemy, to do evil against the enemy, which is a good thing, because the Lord say he do evil. In the scriptures, it says that, is there evil in the city, the Lord ain't do it, right? Roughly paraphrasing. But that's the thing, too. Joshua was a fellow Israelite. And we're going to get into why that's important. So I'm going to read these precepts. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Now, that really goes into the fact that these Edomites, self-proclaimed white people, took our book, took our culture, took our language from us, and they threw their images on it. Like it says in the scriptures, the heathen painted the covered. Let me grab it. They let's get it. Let me just grab it, because I'm butchering it. First Maccabees 3:48, and laid open in the book of the law, wherein the heathen sought to paint the likeness of their images. Basically, they came and took your images and covered your images with their likeness to look like them instead of you. And that's exactly what it means by covering the faces of the judges, right? And also, he puts himself in the seat of the judges. He puts himself in the black robe with the white wig. Historically, that's what he's done, right? But who has the power over the earth as a nation? We know this is Edom. We know who don't have power. Jake, you so-called Latinos and Negroes and Native Americans. You the ones that's stuck in the reservations, the ghettos, the barrios. You the ones stuck in the prison houses. That's what it say about Jake. In fact, I get it, right? It's a people people spoiled. It says they hid in prison houses, right? But you want to go vote for your enemy, who ain't said nothing about freeing your people from prison, mind you. Yeah, yeah, that's one thing too, right? Isaiah 42:22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. They are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none deliver it, for a spoil, and none said restore. Now, you know what? Instead of talking about actual rehabilitation for inmates, they cracking jokes about the booty warrior, Fleece Johnson. They cracking jokes saying don't drop the soap. Ain't nobody saying deliver these people from their situation. Ain't nobody saying that these people are afflicted. Now, granted, a lot of our people in these in the state are in that because they put themselves there, and it is what it is. they are guilty of things, but this so-called justice system has overdone it. Like the way we kept the laws in the ancient world and punished people were way more merciful than giving somebody 300 years in a cell. All right, that's crazy. 300 years in a cell, like, would literally smack the gavel. That is crazy. Dude, that is absurd. In the ancient world, if you did something very highly wrong or offensive, you got put to death, and that was merciful. You got to be taken away from that. Away from the guilt, you got to be put to death. That was a merciful thing. Now, forgive me for sidetracking a bit, because I had to really hammer the nail on the point that I was saying. You know, but getting back to this is Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Yasharallah, which is Israel, right? The true Israel, not the fake one in the land of Israel, pretending to be us, wearing little hats on their head and dancing with no rhythm, right? It says, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh, right? And Yahweh, which is the name of the Most High, and his son's name, Yahweh Shah, the world ignorantly calls Jesus, right? Nobody is truly seeking unto that. As far as how you say people in the world not really seeking to that. Only the people in this truth, yeah, the brethren in this truth is seeking unto the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. But they walking past it. The people of the world walking past it. They don't consider these things. Their eyes are fixated on the fact that the chariots, which are the vehicles, are mighty. That this devil has mighty tanks. And the funny thing about this devil, a lot of his military is named after us. Tomahawk missiles, Apache helicopters, Abram tanks. A lot of his stuff is named after us. Right? But they trust in that. They trust in what they see. And there's more than meets the eye. You know, this devil looks very powerful because he is, but he ain't more powerful than the Lord, who set him up to be a sword, and who set him up to be the red horse in Revelation, to take peace from the earth, basically. You trust in the creation more than the creator, and that's messed up. And then you go to your enemy for help. You trust in these politicians to help you, and these empty promises, the lying to you straight up in your face. You trust the pastor in your church passing the collection bucket around, and for the past 5 years, that foundation, the funding with the little red bar that go up ain't never moved. You trust in that, man? That's crazy. That's madness. You trust in anything other than the Lord, you're mad. You are mad. You bugged out. Deuteronomy 17:15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee. And this is what I'm talking about when I say Joshua, because he was the captain, right? He wasn't really a king over Israel, but he was a captain. He had authority, right? Whom the Lord thy power shall choose, one from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. So you go out your way to make to make some heathen nation or some other people an authority over you. And matter of fact, even if they was of your same blood or same, not all not all Israel is Israel. You know, it says found among my people are wicked men. You can't trust these people. You can't trust these folks. And you gonna go out your way, bend over backwards. You got people to take off for work. You could have had extra money in their pocket. In fact, they spending money to put up signs for these devils and these lying politicians. That is sinful. And it goes into idolatry. So last precept, Exodus 23:2, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in the cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. So just because they doing it don't mean that you should. You know, everybody doing it, you just gonna follow everybody off the cliff? Like they used to ask us back. if such and such go and jump off the cliff, you jumping with them? You know? Sometimes you really just gotta think for yourself, you know? You can't see that you casting in this vote into this ballot and you don't feel a certain guilt or shame, you know? But this is why we don't vote here, you know, and I'm pretty sure that's among all Hebrew Israelite congregations. We don't do this voting thing. We don't. You know, it's off. It's going off. It's wicked. It's sinful. Right? And you worshiping, your enemy in a way by doing that. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom.